Now this is the 8th day here, and look at it. I mean, it's really coming in. So much so that I think I might have some issues. You might be wondering what kind of issues. I mean, the grass is coming up, so what's the problem with the issues that I might see ahead of time? Well, I've been doing it for a few years now. One thing that I discovered, this has a lot of overseed in it from each year that I've done it, but some mature grass here. Let me show you this fescue plant here. That's pretty stout, and it grows in clumps here, but that's a pretty stout piece of grass there. And if it needs that much room, and if all of that is fescue, for example, then I'm going to have a problem with smothering and choking itself out. You really want it to be more like this area here, spaced out, giving it room to mature, and that'll help alleviate it smothering itself out. Like this, clearly on this side has a lot of seeds together. That's where I would have to do some aeration a little bit. I'm doing aeration basically to get air down to the soil and to the roots down there, because it's smothering itself out. But it all remains to be seen, and you got to keep in mind that the germination the germination of the bluegrass, typically Kentucky bluegrass takes a longer time to germinate. But this hybrid stuff, it'll come on out of the ground and it will sit there, just sitting there. And I couldn't tell the difference between the Kentucky bluegrass and the fescue after planting it and its young seedling. I just can't tell. So while the fescue may be up and running, the KBG is kind of still developing, and still in some cases still will need the constant moisture that you were doing to get this stuff out. So this is what the fescue looks like at a grown state. So I'm imagining all of that getting that thick in here. So it's going to be a thick plot of grass here. And if you noticed, using the Scots with the tenacity already in there really did its job, because I don't see any weeds popping up. Partly because most of the warm season seeds have germinated for the year, and secondly, I laid down, there was a lot of dirt put on top of here, so some of the seeds that were here for weeds are really embedded too deep right now in order to get some germination. But still, I believe the tenacity has done its job. So we're working on it. It looks like it's coming up very strong. And on the remainder of my grass, I put out ironite to help the discoloration that happened because of the over application of the fungicide. It just didn't like that much fungicide. But nevertheless, this is mid-June, and here we are. So another thing I want to talk to you guys right before I get out of here is, let's talk about, in the summertime, in winter, fall, and winter and fall season, you know that the warm season grass that most of us in Texas is used to, I would say 98, 99% of everyone around here has warm season grass. That St. Augustine, the various Bermudas. You know, I don't see a lot of zoysia because it's more expensive, but that's still a warm season grass. You know, most people don't deal with the buffalo and bahia, but you know those. It's usually St. Augustine and Bermuda. And you know that it goes dormant in the fall and it doesn't come back till late spring. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about, is dormancy. And if you're worried about having this grass here, guess what? It does the same thing that the warm season does in the fall, and the cooler weather goes dormant. This will go dormant in the summertime also if you let it. And then it'll come back the next season. It may have some, you know, stunt a little growth and, you know, overseed, but it will go dormant. So you don't have to worry about the whole lawn being dead, just like you don't worry about your St. Augustine and Bermuda being dead when it's in dormancy. So that's another option for you guys. I guess you would kind of look at it as you can be dormant, I don't know, maybe say the hottest part of the summer, June, July, August. And of course, September people are overseeding anyway. So, you know, you only got 60 days of possible being dormant versus almost half a year for the other warm season grass. So that's just another thing that you can look into. But when you're watching this channel, my goal is not to let it go dormant. So that's just going to equal irrigation and you know, the supplementation that's going to be put on this yard for the year, for the heat months, and that is going to keep me year-long green. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. And you see this little area here that's darker green here, you may think it's shade, but that's actually where I guess I missed a double application or something. Right here, this is the green that it is normally has, but the other parts was where I did the fungicide treatment. But the Ironite is working. It's turning it back to its original color. So I should be good. We still have a little more rain, possibly for the next few days. And in my opinion, and through history, it's a wrap. It just shuts off abruptly. That's how Texas weather works. There's no gradual change. It's on and off. When it gets cold, it's usually hot the day before. Then it's cold. When we have a lot of rain, you know, it'll rain, and then one day it'll stop, and then we won't have any rain until, you know, maybe October or something. So that's what I'm expecting here. So I'm getting ready, putting out everything that I need. Stay tuned to the channel so you can, you know, make sure that you have all the stuff that I put down so you can be part of the 1% of people in Texas with fescue.